further into LGBTQ suicide prevention in schools, we actually can use the minority stress model. And this model is used a lot in diversity conversations and understanding, that really you're looking at a situation where people are being treated as if they're other. So there's discrimination and bullying that is not in any way invited by the person who's the target. Microaggressions that they're experiencing kind of randomly that creates a sense of stress and a sense of not being safe. And often people internalize a sense that somehow they're different, or they're wrong, or it's not okay who they are. And then this leads to a lack of belonging, again, and there's depression, poor academic performance, and anxiety. So yes, they're at risk for anxiety and depression, but the reason for this is not that there's some mysterious reason. It's very clearly that you're in a hostile environment. Again, when the corn isn't growing, you don't blame the corn. And there have been national surveys that have actually measured how often people are hearing slurs like "that's so gay" or "you're so gay," how unsafe gender non-conforming students feel. And there's a real bullying crisis for LGBTQ students in Michigan, that a 2009 survey found that 90% of Michigan students in secondary schools were verbally harassed at their school environment, and they were hearing biased language from school staff. Half of them never told family members about the bullying, because I think students, whether they're in secondary school or younger, often feel the pressure to succeed that keeps them from reaching out. And over half of the students who were harassed or assaulted never reported it to school staff who were there around and sometimes witnessed what was happening. About a fifth skipped school within the month that the survey was done because of safety concerns on bullying. So if you've got, I'm sorry, I said a fifth, didn't I? About a fifth of them. So skipped school within the last month because of safety concerns. If you have a fifth that are doing that within a month of the survey, you've got a real problem with people not attending school and not having the opportunity to learn because they feel unsafe. So yes, LGBT youth report more depression and anxiety. This doesn't actually seem surprising when you look at their environments. And same with substance abuse. So minority stress matters. Students experiencing minority stress may present with clinically significant symptoms. And I have to say, working as a clinician in private practice, when you can discuss this type of research, it is extremely affirming to someone who is struggling to realize and to hear that there's evidence that this is not something that they've done or something that they're not doing. That this is something that they're experiencing that not everyone experiences, and it's not their fault. Incidents of distress are higher in unwelcoming environments that are unsafe. But again, the story doesn't stop here, because now, as we've understood that, we're looking at, okay, there's a problem with the environment. What can we do to help with resiliency factors? How can we help people survive unsafe or unwelcoming environments? How can we make those environments more safe? What supports can we have there? What safe space can we build? How can we design interventions to build resiliency at all the different levels that are possible? So we're discussing diversity and research around issues of inclusion and social justice, because whether we acknowledge them or not, issues of social justice and inclusion are present in our world, and our research is used to provide a narrative for that. So we have a choice about whether or not we acknowledge the relevant issues and whether or not we educate ourselves, but the issues are there. And so it's, what do you want to do? Researchers choose how they're studying this, how to understand their areas of interest. They choose their subjects and their subject groups. And they have a large part in developing and supporting the larger social narrative with what you'll hear in the news media as scientific evidence. Scientists have discovered this. We are the scientists. That's really exciting.